knows that it is the Savior. So he appears to the 12 with all the different personalities. Notice further that he says, and after that he was seen of Cephas, and then of the 12. Notice verse 6. And after that he was seen of above 500 brethren at once, of whom the greater part remain unto the present, but some have fallen asleep. I don't know about you, but it's be difficult to get a collaboration if we're going to lie with 5 people. Let alone 500. You know the game you play. You get in a circle and you tell somebody something, and then they tell it to somebody, and then they tell it to somebody. We have a way of adding to the story what we like. And if a person says, well, we see that in church, even with prayer. Pray for brother so-and-so because he twisted his toe. By the time he gets to my office, he's an amputee. We like to be able, so now we have to verify prayer requests. Verify that, verification, evidence, I need to know. You go to the hospital, talk to the surgeon, is this real? Because, we like to add our little bit to it. We like to add to it. So can you imagine 500 people collaborating on the fact that Jesus Christ has risen from the dead? I like what Paul says. He says some of them have slept. That is, they died. Paul knew them personally. But he says, and the greater part still remain to this day. If you don't believe me, go ask them. 500 people. And all of them witnesses to the resurrection. It's evidence of appearance. So Peter with his personality, and then going to the body of 12 to reveal yourself and to see that all 12, you got different personalities. There's no one here that is stereotypical in their personality. They didn't come together and say, let's lie. How do we know that? Because Thomas was not going to believe it until he saw it. But because he saw it, he believed it. Then if you didn't believe the 12, you got 500 people. And they all collaborate on the fact we saw him alive after his death. But if you don't believe that, let's check a family member. Verse 7 says, and after that, he was seen of James. Now, this is the Lord's brother. If you know anything about the Lord's brother, you know anything about his family didn't believe that he was anything at first. In fact, it was his family that says that a prophet has no honor except in his own home, or without honor except in his own home and family. James does not believe, but this is Jesus' half-brother. Let me tell you something. You won't know your family member, are you not? And if Jesus was not who he said, James would have been able to say he's an imposter, as some have taught. But James believes. James will become a leader in the church. James will become a major apostle later in the story. But at first, he didn't believe. But when he saw his brother dead and risen from the dead, James became a believer. You know your brother, don't you? Could you find your brother? Could you identify your brother? You will know your brother. And even if nobody else knew him, James would know. So he comes to James. But then notice as we close, the last appearance was the Apostle Paul himself. Verse 8 says, and last of all, he was seen of me also, as one born out of due time, for I am the least of the apostles, that am meet to be called an apostle, because I persecuted the church of God. But by the grace of God, I am what I am. The grace which was bestowed upon me was not in vain, but I labored more abundantly than they all. Yet not I, but the grace of God which was with me. Therefore, whether it were I or they, so we preach, and so you believe. Jesus appears to Peter, he appears to the 12, he appears to 500, he appears to his own brother. But on the road to Damascus, Paul was able to look up, Saul, comes Paul, and he sees Jesus. in all of his glory. He sees him after the resurrection, and he's a believer. Why is Paul so significant in the evidence of the appearance? Because Paul was an enemy of the church. It's one thing to have your friends collaborate and to say something that you want them to believe, but when you've got an enemy saying that he's risen from the dead. Paul says, I am